She's been waiting on a miracle, but she won't be silenced. No more waiting in the wings. This is her time. It's time to see what she can do, and there's no telling how far she'll go. Hello and welcome back, my fairies. I am Matsurific, and we are back with part 5 of What If Adrien Had a Twin Sister. When we last left off, we saw Adriana lamenting about how she can't really do anything to help when there's a supervillain. And her brother seems to have a knack for getting into pretty dangerous and life-threatening situations. But even when she had the opportunity to help out in Style Queen, she just got turned into a glitter statue before Ladybug could even give her the Be Miraculous. And now, here in Shanghai, she literally just watched her brother die right in front of her. He wound up being okay thanks to the magic ladybugs, but that didn't change the fact that seeing that kinda messed her up. We pick back up right at the end of the Shanghai special. It's their last day here, and since their father has actually given them permission to explore, they spend the day hanging out with Marinette and their new friend Faye. Naturally, Adriana's going to be teasing Adrianette, but this time it's more to show her brother that she's okay after the traumatic events of the other day. Faye also picks up on the not-so-subtle signs that Marinette likes Adrien, and together the two come up with an excuse to leave the pair alone for a bit. Faye then asks Adriana about them, and Adriana says that she knows Adrien has feelings for Marinette too, but he's so focused on another girl who doesn't like him that he doesn't even notice Marinette. Honestly, she doesn't even like how that other girl treats him. That other girl, of course, being Ladybug, but she can't tell her that. Marinette's always taking care of others, even when it's inconvenient for her. She's smart and creative, and I can tell she really cares about Rian. And there's a lot more she can do for him than I ever could. Faye can tell just how much Adriana cares about Adrien and tells her that she's a good sister. Thanks for saying that. It's about all I can do, honestly. I don't really have any talents or special abilities outside of singing and modeling. I've never really cared about all that teen idol stuff, if I'm being honest. I don't think Rian does either, but it's about all I've got. That's why I want to do what I can, even if it's just making sure Rian has someone who can take care of him. As long as he's happy, that's enough for me. If Marinette can do that better than I can, then that's fine too. You really do seem to care about your brother. What a kind young lady you are. The girls turn around and notice an elderly woman working the counter of a sweet stall they were standing next to, who'd been listening in on their conversation. My apologies for startling you. I didn't mean to eavesdrop, but it really is refreshing to see a young person such as yourself thinking so much of others before herself. She takes some sweets from her stand and places them in a bag that she hands to Adriana. Here, please take this as an apology. Oh, no, I couldn't. This is your shop, isn't it? I can just take your goods for free. It's no trouble at all, I assure you. At least let me pay for it. Your integrity and kindness is all the payment I need. I'm sure there's more that you can do than you give yourself credit for. Just keep doing your best, and I'm certain it will work out. Adriana opens the bag and sees a bunch of delicious-looking sweets. She goes to thank the woman, but she's already gone. That was weird. Adrien and Marinette catch up to them, and they decide to eat the sweets together. They're really good, but when Adrien reaches in for another, he notices something. Something that's not a sweet treat. It's a little black box with a very familiar looking pattern on it. Is that? No. No, it couldn't be. But what if? Anna, can I talk to you for a minute? They go to an alleyway nearby and Adrien pulls out the box. Sure enough, it's a miraculous box. The same kind that he received his ring in. Does this mean there's more miraculous than just the ones Master Fu protects? Adriana opens it up and a white kwami with pale yellow feathering, blue eyes, and a yellow beak emerges from a ball of light. Greetings, I am... Oh, there are two of you? Flag eyes the new kwami with suspicion. Hey, your holder's over there. This one's taken. And another kwami as well? They introduce themselves, and the kwami tells them that her name is Stella. Stella is the kwami of the Silver Eye Miraculous. Silver Eye is a type of bird, if you're not familiar, which grants the power of healing. In its normal form, it takes the shape of a gold star-shaped hairpin with 5 yellow feathers between the star spokes. When Adriana puts it on, the feathers disappear and the star turns white. Now in the French version, the transformation phrases are always the same, transform me and detransform me. But I honestly think the best change the dub has made is the unique transformation phrases. So for the Silver Eye, they will be illuminate and fade out. As for her power, she can heal people with light healing, which bathes the target in a golden light. There are limitations to what she can heal, but we'll go into that in a bit. She also has a secondary passive ability called Feather Mode, where she can make herself light as a feather and jump much farther than normal. It doesn't work if she's carrying anyone though, because their weight would bring her down. Her weapon is a shield, but we'll get more into that later when she transforms for the first time. The thought then occurs to them that this might be a problem though. They're leaving Shanghai tomorrow and won't be around for the Guardian to keep an eye on. Stella explains that the Guardian already suspected this to be the case and was perfectly fine with it. You see, the Silver Eye Miraculous is part of a pair, kind of like the Ladybug and Black Cat. Its counterpart, the Lycanthrope Miraculous, has the power to return a person's mental state back to that of a wild animal. It's a dangerous Miraculous, which will also corrupt the holder's mind the more it's used, unless combined with the healing ability of the Silver Eye. Because of the danger the Lycanthrope possesses, the two were separated and hidden away. However, the Guardian had found out that the Lycanthrope Miraculous has fallen into the wrong hands, and that the new holder may be here in Shanghai looking for its counterpart. This doesn't really sit right with Adrien. This would put Adriana in danger. She then reminds him that he also has a powerful Miraculous being targeted by a supervillain, which, no, she has a point. Adriana, on the other hand, is actually kind of excited. She can actually help them now, and can make sure Cat Noir doesn't get into trouble. Especially after the events of the other day. Yeah, you can't really argue with her after that, but he's still going to be watching out for her. They go back to the group and enjoy the rest of their day before heading back to the hotel and preparing to head home. Going back to the show, we now have the Christmas special to go over. And yeah, it ends up being pretty uneventful. In the original, Adrien left the house because he felt alone with his father practically ignoring him, but this time, he isn't alone. Yes, the twins both wish Gabriel would spend more time with them, but I don't think Adrien would leave the house since it would mean leaving Adriana all alone on Christmas. So they end up being home when Natalie convinces Gabriel to spend time with them, meaning Santa doesn't get accused of kidnapping Adrien or get akumatized. Sure, Adrien won't be there to tell those kids off for bullying him, but I doubt that would be enough to akumatize him since he'd be pretty used to it. Wow, Santa being used to getting bullied by kids is a really depressing thought when you think about it. Melian is next, and Adriana is not putting up with Lila. She's actually got Marinette's back when calling out Lila, but gets brushed off as her just being protective of Adrien. Well, they're not entirely wrong. Since there's no longer an empty seat in the original, we'll put Adriana in the back with Marinette. Now, if you think Marinette not sitting alone is going to keep her from attracting an Akuma, oh boy, are you wrong! The two watch Lila touching Adrien's shoulder and getting all creepy again. How do people think this is better than Adrianette? They both get very angry watching this all unfold and end up fueling each other by actually talking about what they're seeing. Now obviously Gabriel is not going to akumatize his own daughter. We learned that in Kuroneko, so he again sends it after Marinette. When Miss Bustier starts class, Marinette calms down and tells Adriana that they should just focus on class for now. Adriana does calm down for a bit, but she's not as calm as Marinette. Adriana tries to talk to Adrien after class, but he just does his Adrien thing of giving Lila the benefit of the doubt and how she's lonely and that they of all people should know how that feels. While she can't deny that Adrien has a point, she still doesn't think Lila deserves the attention. After the bathroom scene between Lila and Marinette, Adriana pulls away from Adrien to have her own conversation with Lila. I don't know what you're up to with my brother, but you better back off. Rian might be too nice to see it, but I'm onto you. As long as I'm around, you will never date my brother. Lila tries to play it off like she doesn't know what Adrien is talking about, but it doesn't work. This puts Lila in an even worse mood when she talks to Adrien. She gets akumatized just like in the original and takes Adrien's form. When she shoves him in the locker though, Plag actually goes to find Adriana to tell her what happened. No time to gloat about being right, because it's time to make her superhero debut. Stella! Illuminates! And so we get Starlight, and I can finally talk about her design. I've actually had this design for a while now, even longer than Kitty Noir 2.0, who got her hairstyle based on Starlight's. Her shield is attached to her arm, but she can throw it. But when thrown, it stays attached to her arm by a cable made of light, which allows her to pull it back with ease. Because of the attachment, I made the shield a bit smaller to allow for easier movement. It produces a light though that extends its defensive range. By RPG standards, this is more of a support miraculous, so agility and dexterity are key. I also made her hair lighter to keep it from clashing with her costume in Miraculous. The skirt is intended to evoke the feeling of tail feathers, and the detailing on her mask are meant to resemble wings and a beak. I got the idea from a comment someone made back when I was designing Rafair for Love and War, whose original mask design looked more like a bird than a snake. Sorry for talking about her design so long, I just love her so much and I put a lot of thought into her design and powers. Back to Chameleon, Starlight is able to make it in time to warn Ladybug just as she's saving Adrien from falling off the Eiffel Tower. Unfortunately, this causes some confusion, considering the fact that Chameleon looks like a regular person, and this wouldn't be the first time an Akuma villain tried to pass themselves off as a hero. Look, I can prove it! Light healing! She raises her shield towards Chameleon, bathes her? Him? Them in a golden light, which does nothing. Yeah, she can't de-transform an Akuma villain with her power. It's still gotta be done the normal way. Chameleon uses the opportunity to convince Ladybug that Starlight really is the villain. They hide behind Ladybug acting scared, saying that Starlight had attacked them earlier and was the reason they were acting strange before. Ladybug believes them and says that she'll protect Adrien. Oh, come on! Do you really have to be so suspicious every time someone needs the miraculous you didn't give them? First Kitty Noir, now this? Wait, Kitty Noir? Before Ladybug can wonder if maybe she really is legit or not, Starlight notices Chameleon closing in to kiss Ladybug from behind. Ladybug, look out! Starlight runs in to shove Ladybug to the side, and she ends up getting kissed herself. Chameleon transforms into Starlight, the real Starlight falls asleep, and Adrien wakes up back at the school. Ladybug, now realizing that Starlight was telling the truth all along, goes to protect Starlight from Chameleon. She also notices one of the feathers on Starlight's Miraculous flashing in and out, which means she needs to finish this quickly before Starlight de-transforms. Chameleon runs off just like in the original, and Ladybug follows her. Cat Noir then finds Starlight, and he's able to get her to safety before she de-transforms. But before she actually does, she ends up waking up. They realize that this means that either Chameleon got Ladybug, or she turned into someone else now and Ladybug doesn't know what she looks like. Starlight then de-transforms so she could beat Stella. She mostly eats grapes, by the way. And Stella explains to Adriana that she can't de-akumatize people with her power. She might be able to purify Akumas if it comes down to it, but it's best she leaves that to Ladybug so she can fix things with her magic Ladybugs. Now you might think this makes her Miraculous a bit redundant, considering Ladybug's healing ability overlaps with Starlight's. Well, you're not wrong, but Starlight doesn't have to wait for a villain to be defeated to use her power, so there's still use for it. Also, the crossover does come into play later on, so just bear with me for a bit. Once Stella finishes eating, Adriana retransforms and she and Cat Noir head off to help Ladybug. Fortunately, Ladybug did not get caught, and Chameleon had just taken the form of the kid like in the original. The rest of the episode plays out fairly the same as the original. Yes, Cat Noir did get held up helping Starlight, but he also had a head start since he woke up sooner than the original too. So it evens out and they're able to get there in time to save Ladybug. And now, Cat's asleep again. Ladybug tells Starlight to look after Cat Noir since he's defenseless right now. This gives Chameleon a better reason to focus on Ladybug aside from just obsessing over taking her down like in the original. When Cat Noir wakes up, they go to help Ladybug and find that she's defeated Chameleon. Lila gets akumatized, and after dropping her off at the school and letting Ladybug feed Tiki, in private of course, the three get together to have their official introduction. Cat Noir apologizes for not giving Ladybug a heads up. He thought he'd be there to properly introduce them the first time. They confirm that Starlight is in fact Kitty Noir, which is all the confirmation Ladybug needs since she knows Master Fu has already given her his approval. She's still going to talk to Master Fu though. She won't press into where the miraculous came from since too many details might reveal her identity, and if she knows Starlight's identity, it might potentially lead her to Cat Noir, which she doesn't want. When they get back to the school, Adrien and Marinette have their conversation about not exposing Lila, and he manages to convince her and Adriana not to antagonize her. When they go to class, he's once again impressed to see Marinette taking the high road with Lila, and asks Adriana to switch seats with him, hoping the two could start anew and be friends. Adriana is reluctant at first, but then she realizes that it would mean getting him away from Lila, and that Adrien and Marinette would spend a lot more time with each other. She sucks it up and allows it, which gives Lila all the more reason to stop faking her illness, and everyone switch seats back to normal. Now, we could cover Anna Maestra next, but I think this is a good place to leave things for right now. So what do you guys think of Adriana's new Miraculous? Honestly, part of me is glad you guys voted for her not to get the Be Miraculous, since it means I don't have to come up with an excuse for her not to use it anymore after getting the Silver Eye, as I'd always intended for her to get it whether she used the Be Miraculous or not. Though I am still kind of sad about the missed opportunity of having her make bee puns and Adrien figuring out pretty quickly that it was her. If you really want to see that I did make a Tumblr post about the alternate version, but we're sticking with this one for now. Season 3 is going to have a lot of focus on developing Adriana and her story. And don't worry, I haven't forgotten about Dimitri either. He has a role to play, but you'll have to wait for part 6. As always, thank you guys for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, then be sure to leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe for more videos from me. We do all sorts of fun stuff on this channel, including playing video games, we do art, and I'll sometimes talk about cartoons and anime, so if you enjoy this stuff, then be sure to ring that bell icon to never miss a video. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, I hope you all have a very magical day.